My first cellie, Robert.
Okay.
He was gay, and he had HIV.
So where are you from?
I'm from New Brunswick, New Jersey.
Oh, New Jersey?
Yeah.
How is it like over there?
Tough, but cold in the winter.
Does it like snow?
Yes, a lot.
Really?
Yeah, the snow's bad. That's probably why I moved. I hate snow.
Well, I've never like seen snow in real life.
Never?
No, not
So
even
where are
like,
you from?
Well, from LA, but I just never really gone to like Big Bear or
Yeah.
like the mountains like that. But I've always wanted to.
Yeah, you should. I want to go to Big Bear. I've never been there.
I remember one time, like my mom used to drive us around, like as a kid in her Toyota Corolla, and she always told us, "Oh, our windows are tinted." And so like every time she would drive around, I would make faces to like
He's
strangers.
like, nobody can see you.
Yes,
And they
I
can
was
see.
like, and they could see me. And I didn't find out until one time this guy like flicked me off, like a pedestrian. And I was like, wait, Mom,
I thought you said
it was tinted. So I'm like, what the?
And now you're like, your trust goes down the
Yeah,
window.
my trust went downhill. I'm like,
I don't trust you.
I don't trust you anymore.
So back in the day, they had these hotlines, like 1-900 numbers for psychics, and one was a wrestling, WWE. I don't know if you know it.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And I was a huge fan of WWE, the Heartbreak Kid and all that. And I called the hotline all day one day, thinking it was like free. It wasn't. It was like $1 a minute.
Oh, shit.
So
A minute?
my grandmother got the bill, and
Oh.
my father, I just remember my dad coming and beating the crap out of me, and me not even knowing why, until after the ass whipping. And then he was like, yeah, you ran up a $300 bill. But I didn't know. But that probably was like one of them.
$300?
It was like 300. It might have been more.
Wait, so in the hotline, what would they talk? Like, what would you talk about?
You get to talk to the fighters, but you're not really talking to anyone. It's just voicemails. But as a kid, I'm like, I just talked to Hulk Hogan. You know what I mean?
Okay.
They charged. It was literally, they shouldn't have done it. They were taking advantage of kids. Would you rather be
Straight or gay?
okay? Would you? I don't know. That's a horrible question. That doesn't work.
That's
Let
a bad
me.
question.
And that's boring.
What was your childhood like?
I guess it was I ain't gonna say, that's a good question, because it was traumatic, but it was also, there were parts where that was pretty cool. And I had a lot of family. It wasn't perfect, but it gave me value.
Would you say you were more like an angel or like a troublemaker?
Troublemaker.
Really?
I was the total opposite.
Oh, dang.
I got in trouble all the time. All the time.
What would you do though?
Fights, arguments. I would I was bad. I remember one time I put an M80. You know what an M80 is?
What's that?
It's literally an explosive. I put
What?
it in this lady's car and blew up the backseat of her car just to do it. And
Oh
got
my
my butt whooped. So,
God.
yeah, I was a bad kid.
And you did that as a child?
Just as a child, for fun. Yeah.
Dang.
I was
What?
that kid in the neighborhood. But I was smart, so I think most of it had to do with being bored and not having an outlet. And in the hood, it's like if you don't have an outlet, you get to go and join a gang, you're gonna end up selling drugs or do something stupid like I was doing and get yourself in trouble. So
Were your parents strict?
yeah, but they couldn't control me. They
You
were
were
strict.
just doing your own thing?
Yeah, because they tried everything, the butt whoopings, everything. When I was 15, they emancipated me, took me to court. Both of them, and they didn't even like each other.
Oh my
But
God.
because I was so bad and they didn't want to be responsible if I did something crazy, they both pretty much took me to court. Would you rather be a male or a woman?
You know what? I would rather be male, but I feel like it'd be fun to live a life as a woman for like one day. I would want to dress up and put on all these nice outfits and
Because they get all the good clothes.
yeah, they get all the good clothes.
First time I got into legal trouble was, weird enough, it was a domestic dispute. And I called the police on my girlfriend who was chasing me down the street with a knife because she heard I had a girl in our apartment.
Oh shit.
And I was 19, and they locked us both up.
So you and your girlfriend?
Yeah, I called the police on her.
And then you still got
And
locked
still went to jail. That was the
What?
first time I was already got into some trouble, like in jail, in handcuffs. And I was blown away. You know, your first time in jail, I don't know if you've ever been in jail, but my first time in jail, you think it's the worst thing that could possibly happen to you. You're like, oh my God, my life is over, I'm in jail. It's not that serious until you've gone through it enough times to realize it's not that bad. But I was like, devastated. And then right across from us, you could see the girls. So I'm in one side, she's on the other side, and all the girls are like giving me middle fingers. And I'm like, she must be in there talking shit.
She was spilling some tea about you.
Yeah, so I started telling guys on this side what happened, and they all giving her the middle finger. So it was just a funny moment. And then they let me out of jail, and I go right back over there.
Back to jail?
No, back to her house.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. I'm just not a funny person.
Me neither. I'm funny.
That thing just hit me. They
Really?
were like, yeah, the tree.
Oh shit.
They're homophobic.
That would have been wild.
That's a hate crime right there. Go to prison, tree.
I did almost 3 years in federal prison.
What led you down that path?
Broke. Just being broke, and a friend of mine, I had that friend that always knew how to get some money. So he would always have these scams and these ideas and ways to make quick money. And at first, I didn't want to do it. But he literally told me, he said, listen, if we get in trouble, I'll just say I did it. So I'm like, shit, why not? I'll do it. And we made a lot of money fast. It was almost like a movie. We were doing like $7,000 a day. And this is like for only 90 days. But just imagine how much money we made in 90 days.
That's
so
insane.
on record, it says we had a spree for up to a year. Truth be told, we only did it for 90 days. But we made so much money on paper, it looked like a lot. And I bought cars, houses, it was like that. And then we got caught. They got me for what's called access device fraud. And that's when you use one system to manipulate another system.
Because I've seen like those videos online, those viral videos where it's like scamming people.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's so obvious that it's a scam, you know?
Yeah. No, I was really good at it. So let's just be clear.
Skills.
I had a lot of skills. And
my
people who are
God.
doing it now, they're like, man, you were the best. Yeah, I was good. I mean, I remember getting on the phone pretending to be the lady's husband.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? And convincing them. I used to burn $100 bills in the club. Just drunk, playing around. Like, that's how much money we were
Just plain money.
That's
crazy.
money, bro. And I still have not adjusted to not making that amount of money. It still feels weird to me like I don't have that anymore. But, you know.
So when you first entered jail, what was your initial reaction?
I can't believe I'm here. Cried the first night. Fear, more than anything, fear. But you know what's also interesting? It was also a calming that comes over you, because you just get tired of running after a while. So you're just happy that the running is over. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm here, this is where I'm gonna be. You cry, and then it's a relief. It's like, I'm here. Finally, I don't have to look over my shoulder, one of the police after me, they got me.
It's like a break from everything. Well, not even like a break, just like you're done with this.
Yeah, yep.
Shit.
It's like the beginning of the end. Like being at my nana's house, my grandmother, she was the only person that didn't think I was bad. Everybody else was like, no, we're not watching him, he's bad. My grandmother was like, bring him. You know what I mean? So I always felt like a kid there. She never put the label of bad on me. Everybody else did. So Nana's house probably was my greatest moments.
But was it because you were like putting on like a image for her?
For my Nana?
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a little bit of both. Like she saw me as a kid, and I wasn't bad around her. For some reason, her spirit, her energy just made me want to just be a kid. Everywhere else, I had to wear many hats, so I wasn't allowed just to be a kid. I had to cook, clean, do all these things. So I felt like that made me grown. You know what I mean? So over there, I would do grown stuff. And I'm like, how can you check me? You don't even watch me. But at my Nana house, she babied me, so I could be a baby. I was never good at arts and crafts.
Not even like elementary school?
No, I sucked. I liked arts and crafts. I just was never really good at it. I would pour glue on somebody's face or something.
Oh my God, stop. For real? Mine's a little elephant. If you woke up one day and you were a girl, what's the first thing you would do?
If I woke up one day and I was a girl, what's the first thing I would do? Taste my immediately.
Ow! I'm gonna get cramps.
I'll
Stop!
be emo, busy left and right.
I'm fucking stop!
I'll be down there munching.
How are my people doing in prison?
It's tough. My first cellie, Robert.
Okay.
He was gay and he had HIV. First cellmate that I had. So immediately everybody in the unit like, no, get out that cell, yo. You know that dude. Mr. was one of the nicest people I ever met in my life. So in jail, there's this stigma. If you associate, that's what you are. So I had to come to terms right away. Like, damn, I can't be in this dude's cell. They're gonna think this of me. It's a bad place to be. But he saved my life. And after that, I was like, I don't care. I'm rocking with him. He's cool. I had a situation where a gang leader thought that I was passing notes to another gang leader. Mind you, I'm not even from there. But I did pass a note because somebody was like, hey, give this guy a note. Never do that in prison. If you guys never pass notes. So I passed a note to the guy. They came to my cell with a knife and told me that I had to check out. That means I had to leave the cell. No, they told him he had to leave so they could talk to me. He wouldn't leave. He said, whatever you got to say to him, you can say it with me here. And so they didn't want to hurt him, so they just left. And after that, I was like, you know what, dude, I misjudged you. You saved my life. And I started to write his life story after that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I hope he's okay, because he was really sick. And he was like having issues with his meds, and they wasn't giving it to him. It was weird. And nobody wanted to touch him. Like, it was just, if he used the bathroom, nobody wanted to use the bathroom after him. Yeah, he had it bad. He had it bad. And that's just one person. I met another guy who had it just as bad. And I was cool with him. I just don't understand why people, I think it's more ignorance.
They're just not educated.
They're just not educated.
Yeah.
So when you hear somebody's got AIDS, you don't think, and I don't even think he had AIDS. He probably just had HIV, but in their minds, HIV is AIDS. You know what I mean? So don't touch it. Don't touch his door. Don't touch it. You know what I mean? It was that thing. But what he did do for me was he made me educate myself, because I wanted to know. I was living with him. And I found out that we had it all wrong.
Yeah.
So it's kind of embarrassing to hear people talk about certain things without the information. It's kind of like, damn, if you only knew, you're so wrong. Like, that's not how it really works. You know, but thankfully, because I had that experience with him, I understand that.
Should transgender women be in male prisons or female?
They should have their own. They should have their own. Because it becomes a thing where you can't marginalize it. It's an individual, on an individual basis. And courts don't really do that. So they say, if you're going to give trans rights to be in male prisons, give them for everybody. Well, the situation might be different for that person. You know what I mean? What if they're a predator?
True.
You know what I mean? Or what if they're going into a place full of predators? Like, so I think it's a case by case, and it'd be safer if they just had a facility for trans people.
It's a lot, yeah.
It is. With the LGBT community, I don't think straight people should govern it. I just don't think that that's fair. I'm not saying it should be a whole separate governing system, but there should be somebody who ethically understands where they're coming from. You know what I mean?
Someone that's lived your life.
Right, to be able to pass judgment and pass laws that pertain to these people without any type of compass on or context to who they are, to me is an injustice in anything. That's the same way with black rights and any other rights. So that's just me though.
Talk to me about the time when you finally got released.
I kissed the ground as soon as I walked outside, literally. Face down, mwah, kissed the ground. I was so happy, and they gave me a bus ticket and a check with my leftover money. And instead of having somebody come and get me, I was in Louisiana, mind you, far from home. I just took the bus. A long ride back to Georgia, and my mom came and got me.
So how did you adjust to life after being released?
Before jail, I wasn't as, I'm better now, but when I first came home from jail, it was like PTSD. Certain sounds, keys, the sound of keys bothered me. Like if I heard somebody's keys dangling, I don't know why, but it would cause me like the rush. I don't know why. The sound of just keys. I think that's how they opened the door for us and locked us in every day.
Yeah.
I think the sound of keys bothered me for a long time. And then it's like they expect you to just come back into society and pick up where you left off. And you're f***ed up.
Yeah, you should have been provided therapy.
And that's another thing. They don't provide you anything when you get out and expect you to be rehabilitated. You're worse.
I know. Oh my, see
That
that
thing's
is
trying to hit you.
It's
At this
homophobic.
Point, at this point, it's assault.
It's
I
it
saw
is. Assault, exactly.
He
Look how
looking at me
big
like-
this is.
Yeah, that's it. He looking at me like, you want one too? No, sir, I didn't see nothing.
It went back to you. I threw it, literally went to you.